Hi. After a number of setbacks and mechanical issues with the Chevelle, I am finally hoping that everything's going to be okay because today is the day that we're taking off and we're going to complete a 350-mile round trip. Now, this is going to be a multi-day trip with a few different sites in there, but I will be taking you guys along. You'll be able to see if I have any issues, which I'm hoping I won't. And then a few of the sites I'll be seeing, and hopefully you guys will just enjoy the ride. So here's to hopefully a stress-free round trip. Now, I have not been able to take the car out because of different construction going on and the garage doors being blocked, but that stuff's gone now. So you guys will be with me on the maiden voyage. So come on with, and hopefully there won't be any issues. Before we go here, you can see, got my bag packed. Gonna go pack the cooler. Got the launcher, so if I do break down, I'll have somewhere to sit. Otherwise, that's going to be hopefully for the car show. And if you look up there, that little bag right there, that's my toolkit. It's the one I leave in the vehicle with all the, necessities. But that's all I'm going to be bringing. So I'm pretty confident that not going to have any issues. You can see it's all cleaned out for, not sure what, floor console. But all cleaned out for the car show. Unfortunately, things were so busy, I was not able to do any test miles on the vehicle before I'm about to take off here. Actually, I'm doing the pre-trip check over. I'm gonna go and check the oil here. Let's see. And it is, can't see. It is full. So that is perfectly okay. Hopefully the oil will be at that level when I get there. But I think I have everything ready to go. So let's get the car out and hit the road. Well, here we go. You guys can see the mile is there. We'll see how many we actually put on. Here's the cold start. First time it's been started since the last video. Come on. There we go. Took a few pumps, but it's going good. Almost a full fuel tank. Down just a little bit because, well, when the gas line started leaking, it leaked all over the floor. Filled up over one oil pan before I could go and get it to stop. Had to jack the back end and put a vice grip on the rubber line by the tank to get that to stop. There we go. I'm on my own time since I don't have a clock, but I'll be putting a clock in a later video as soon as the new radio comes in. It says that it's supposed to be here in August, which will make it 1 year that I've been waiting for it, or since I've sent it in. That's how busy the guy is, but so fingers crossed that it'll be a nice working original style radio just like this one, because this one does nothing for a number of reasons. I already got the new speakers in, which are not hooked up to this radio, and, well, radio don't work anyway. Well, so far everything seems to be going okay. Don't have any gauges in the vehicle besides the speedometer and the fuel gauge, so not sure what the whole temp is running, but there's no dummy lights on, so nothing saying warning to me. Going down the road okay. One thing I wish I would have done is check the tire pressure, just because it's been a while since I've driven it, and not sure if everything was okay there, but when I make a stop, I'll go on and check it out. Otherwise, otherwise everything's been going pretty smooth. Taking a lot of back ways with this route, staying off the freeways and interstates, and just kind of enjoying the trip a little bit more and going at a slower speed. And well, now I'm stuck behind a Prius, so I'm going at a real slower speed. But just trying to enjoy the route a little bit better and the trip, and need to try to make up a little bit of time just in the aspect of it's getting a little bit later in the evening, and want to make it out and get where I need to go before those kamikaze deer come out and start jumping in front of the vehicle, trying to total the car out. But I think everything is going to be going okay. I should have another 2 hours of daylight, so I think I'll make it fine. But like I said, everything is going okay. So far so good. I'm going to try to make it hopefully another 50 miles or so, and then stop, fill up with gas, check everything out. I'd like to go and hit a car wash somewhere. Not exactly sure, for not having the vehicle out. It sure is filthy, and not just your normal I've been sitting there not being driven dust, but I don't know what the heck's all over it. Like I parked under a tree or something, and it's just got all these white spots all over it. And of course there's some right in front of my peepers here, so that's what I'm staring at the whole time. Okay, well, I'll just keep you guys along for the ride, and I'll catch up when I make the first stop here. Alright, let's try to get around this Prius, which shouldn't be too hard because they're braking at 40 miles an hour. The only thing is, now this car's got a 2-barrel on it, so it is kind of snappy right off the line there, just because it doesn't have the bog of the 4-barrel. But it also has a 273 rear end, so it's great for cruising speeds because I'm probably only doing 1,700 revs at 60 miles an hour, but just don't have the oomph to get around things. Like I said, it's great for low revs at highway speeds because it's acting almost like it has an overdrive, but yeah, it's just, you know, a little slow on that aspect. But since I bought this car as just a cruiser and since I just bought this car for a cruiser and there's no speed demon or anything, that the 273 is perfect. And in fact, in my 71 Monty that I'll be showing you in the video, that had a 331 rear end, and actually I went up to a 308. Because again, I'm not bringing it to the drag strip, and we're not racing because I don't need to have somebody prove how slow the vehicle is. So I go and put the higher rear end in it just to you know, make it more enjoyable for cruising. And it did help quite a bit just to bring those revs down just a little bit. But again, when you take the back ways like this, it's fine. It is nice having the higher or the little bit lower rear end in it compared to what this car has. But again, when you have to jump up on the 75 mile an hour interstates, this 273 is pretty enjoyable. Cruise would be nice. Give the old right foot a break. A lot of neat little towns going this way. A lot more enjoyable. Oh, I don't even know what the heck that is, but it has a bigger wing on it than like a 747. Squirrel just sitting on the side of the road, just chomping away. But yeah, like I was saying, this is a lot more scenic route, a lot prettier, just going a lot slower and taking in the views and not just seeing everybody going 80 miles an hour down on the interstate. Might add a few more minutes, but it's worth it. Okay, everything's been going so good so far. Let's see, I don't remember what I had for mileage when I started, but I must be 25 miles in. Everything's going great. No warning lights on or anything yet, and just nice and smooth, no issues. Traffic's been great. Besides that Prius at 40 miles an hour was pushing it and started having to brake and everything, so got around them, which is this car is great for cruising down the road. It has 273 rear end, so really high, just a 2-barrel carburetor, so it has a little pep to get around just because you don't have that bog with the 4-barrel. But again, that 273 really kills any performance. At 70 miles an hour, it just is purring. I mean, it's great. I mean, I'm not doing 70 now, but idles at 800 revs. Probably at 70 miles an hour, it's probably doing 1200. I mean, the thing just purrs. And I'm exaggerating at 1200. But it just purrs and it goes great, but it just don't have the up and going to go any, to get around the stuff. But didn't buy it for being a racehorse or anything like that. It's meant to be a cruiser. Wanted a bench seat car, kind of bring me back to my first car that had the bench in it. Everything else had buckets. I put on quiet exhaust on this just to make it a nice, quiet cruiser. Still has duals, but they're just mufflers, so it's real quiet. Now, my 71 Monte Carlo, that originally had a 331 rear end, and I actually switched those out and put a 308 just to bring those revs down a little bit more for the freeways and the cruising at that time. And still has a little bit more pep than this, but still not ridiculous revving it out when I'm driving. So I think the 308s is a nice middle of the road gear ratio. Now the Monte Carlo, the 88, that has a 373 rear end with overdrive. So that actually is the best of both worlds because it has that low end grunt and it's quick, but then at highway speeds it's not screaming. And with this, with the 273 rear end, it actually almost acts like it does have an overdrive just with how it feels and how it's not really revving at all. And again, makes it for a very enjoyable cruiser. But we'll continue going here and got another town coming up in a little bit, but I'm probably going to make it, I would say, probably about another 30 miles before I stop and give everything a once over. I'd really like to find that car wash just because, and when I say car wash, I mean the do-it-yourselfer. I don't want to go through an automatic one and get a bath because I'm sure stay on the road. I'm sure I'll be getting soaked in here. Never went through an automatic one with this car. I'm not sure how it will do, but if it's anything like any other car I have, I'll be getting pretty damp. Pay attention. Well, the rumble strips work on the side of the road. Okay, well, we'll keep going and we'll get with you guys again in another 30 miles. Across the river right there, over in old Cheddarland. See, this is what I'm talking about. Going through these towns and you see all these small shops and little small local businesses. A lot of stuff you don't see when you're flying down the interstate. One place I like to stop, and if I had a little bit more time, I would, but drive-in restaurant. Really neat. Just taking it a little slower and enjoying the views. And the restaurant's really neat though. They got a few of them, and if I had a little bit more time, I would be stopping. But like I said, I want to try to make it as far as I can with what daylight I have. So, but on the way back through, I can guarantee you I'll be making a pit stop there. Coming into another town here, pretty neat. Now this is Cambridge, Minnesota, and what I wanted to show you guys is right, where is it? Right over in that vicinity is the county fairgrounds, and the reason why I want to show you there is that's where they have the Frankensteiners car show in the fall, and it actually is a really big and really fun car show to go to. They go and do, it's in the fall, it's in right around Halloween time, and people bring candy and have stuff set up, and the kids dress up in costumes, and it's real fun show. Well, here we go. We're gonna pick up the pace a little bit. Not gonna skip the back way a little bit, going this way, just to try to make up some time. Just because once we get moving up here a little farther, the deer start getting a little bit more popular and hanging out on the road. So getting a little bit later than I expected, so I wanted to go and try to make up a little bit of time. And 65 miles an hour here, so I'll be able to go a little faster to kind of clear out the old combustion chambers a little bit, because I'm going to allegedly run a little quicker than that. But not much. It'll stay somewhat legal. It's just kind of nice to let it run out and everything breathe and put it through the paces a little bit here. So I'll run up this way for a little while and get into the next town, and then we'll start hitting some more of those slower roads, but then at least I can shave off a few more minutes off the trip here. Another real small city, little town we're going through right here, and you blink and you'll be through the town, but just pointing out, there's a place right up here on the left, right over here. My left, not your left. Wait, no, it's your left, but right there. See if you guys can see it. It's called the Brass Rail.
And they do have really good chicken. It says world's famous. Not sure if it's world famous, but definitely local famous. And had it a few times, and it's been a while. Actually, I'm not gonna lie, it's been quite a few years, but they actually have really good food. So if you're in the vicinity, that's in Grandee, Minnesota. And if you're ever in the area, stop in. You won't be disappointed. Well, some people might be, but you know, I like food, so I'm not disappointed. Right to the right, you can see by the sign there where it says Broham. Anyway, up that way, they're known to be the pie capital of the world, Minnesota. Not sure which one it is, but homemade pie capital of Minnesota. That's what their sign says. Now, I've never been there, but one time I'd like to make a trip up there and check it out, because if they're bragging about their pie, they must have a pretty good variety to swing in there and test it out. It's just my 2 cents on the matter. Well, as you can see, the lack of sunlight behind me means that we're losing daylight. Wanted to get in here and take a peek, make sure there's no issues going on, nothing leaking. Radiator overflow looks good, nothing's running hot, no unusual smells. A little bit of the fresh paint bacon on smell, that's about it. But don't see any other issues. Check the oil was good, right where it should be. As I only went probably 90 miles so far, maybe close to 100, somewhere in there. So that should be okay. Looked under the vehicle, nothing leaking. Car's not up in flames, no issues so far. Reason why I wanted to make it this far, because building right there is an O'Reilly's, so if I needed anything I could have stopped in. And secondly, if I don't need anything for the car, Hardee's right there, so I could get something for myself. Like I said, there is no issues going on that I could see. And with losing daylight pretty fast, I wanted to get in here and just to be able to see everything over. Did realize I have no washer fluid. Put a little bit of that in there. But there we go, everything is going good. Kind of neat, the number 5 on the fender welder. Not sure if somebody wrote that in at one time, meaning 5 quarts of oil, or if that's from an assembly line mark. Also on the firewall has a number, I think it said 93 or something like that. So when I painted it, I made sure I left that area alone, and when I pressure washed that, I made sure I left that area alone. I like to keep those numbers on. One other thing, you can see the new diverter valve. Looks a little different than the original. This one's all black. This is the updated part. And I think it's plastic instead of metal. But it solved the problem. Under quick deceleration, so going 70 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour, anything like that, and just taking your foot off the old gas pedal, it would backfire through the exhaust before, and now it's not doing that. So we don't have that issue. But right now we're gonna take a little break here, clean up a little bit, and grab something to eat, and then continue on our way. Unfortunately, I was hoping to make another stop tonight, show you guys something, but I think we're gonna lose too much daylight by the time I get up. Well, as you can see, we're losing a lot of daylight, so it's gonna be too dark by the time I get to the next stop to show you guys anything, so I'm gonna have to skip that and just head right to the house. But so far, everything, I mean, I'm just cruising along at 60 miles an hour. Everything is going great, no issues. Like I said, I honestly did not test drive this car at all after doing the fuel line, and I put when I put the new caliper on, I did go around the block and put a couple miles on it. Then the fuel line started leaking again, so I never drove it. And then with everything going on at home, I was unable to get the car out. And that wasn't by choice. It was literally blocked in with a new roof being put on and stuff in the way. But I was able to get the car out right now and run it. And not gonna lie, I was a little nervous because wasn't sure. At a Dollar General out here in the middle of nowhere. We got hay bales and a Dollar General, and that's it. Wow. Put them up anywhere and everywhere, but that's okay. That's good. Anyway, we got the car out, was driving it, and here now it's no issues. And like I said, I was a little nervous just because there was no test miles or anything, and everybody is going to be at closest 80 miles away from me if I didn't need help with anything. And like I said, I had minimal tools with me, and I think it was got pliers and a screwdriver and some duct tape, maybe a few zip ties. That's usually about it. But we're gonna just keep going along here and make it up to the house and call it a night and relax for this evening. Get up in the morning. Car's gonna need a bath pretty bad just from sitting and them doing the work around the house. It's a little dirty, and like I said, I got these white spots all over the windows and everything. I'm not sure where the heck that came from. Must have parked under a tree and then just never washed the car. I don't know. So anyway, that's gonna do it for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow morning. We're gonna run down to that car show. Hopefully it'll do okay. Not really expecting any wins or anything like that, but still, it's about going and meeting with everybody and talking and just enjoying the atmosphere and talking about cars and showing off and bragging about what you have. It's usually a good time. I enjoy that one. That one's in Isle, Minnesota. That's where we'll be going tomorrow and getting ready for that one. But now we'll just keep on trucking along, and probably got another 45 minutes to go until we get there, and it's going to be pretty dark by that point, but still, hopefully no issues. We'll keep going. Alright, we'll see you tomorrow.
But he grabbed my wrist. The billboard was promoting someone I knew, but boy, I'm glad I'm not in his shoes, 'cause I'm free, spirit forever. I am free, spirit forever. Speeding through town, taking a jail. Patrolman let me go, $200 bill. Better let me sign this page in your book. Leave the town feeling like I'm some kind of crook. The border police notice took it.
Okay, I know it's a little hard to tell probably on the video, but these are the Napa Premium Super Bright Sealed Beam headlights, and honest review on them, I'm not overly impressed. They are okay. Not sure if they're really any brighter, but the beam pattern is just kind of weird, and they don't show off into the ditch more. I mean, from where I'm sitting, the driver's side bulb, that's why I stopped here, because I thought it was burnt out, and they're brand new bulbs, and I thought it just wasn't working. It just doesn't, but it's on, but it just doesn't seem to be that bright. Now I'm running Sylvania bulbs. I believe they're Sylvania. Of course, they could be Wagner, but either one of them. But they're the super bright beams, sealed beams in my 71 Monty, and they actually seem better. I'm actually more impressed with that. The reason why I went with the Napa version is just the design of the lens. I thought it looked a little older, a little more fitting as what this car would have had originally on it. I figured I'd give them a try. They're all about the same price, but I would actually go with the Sylvania, and I don't, again, remember what brand, what model or whatever, but they're supposed to be their super bright one. Another one I wouldn't mind trying is Silver Star, I believe. They're supposed to be pretty decent. I haven't tried them, but if you guys used any of those brighter headlights, throw them down in the comments. Let me know what you liked or didn't like, or what you were maybe impressed with. But as of now, I'm not the biggest fan of the Napa versions. But again, like I said, I can't remember what I have in the other one, if they're Wagners or Sylvania, or if I had Wagners at one point and then used Sylvania. But either way, they both were pretty similar. I wouldn't say one was more impressive over the other, but like I said, these are greatly noticeable that I don't care. And another thing, I might need to aim a little bit better. I'm not sure if that will help or not if they're off, but once I get up to a place with it being, there's low beam. With it on a level surface, I can pull up to the garage and maybe take a look at them and see if they need to be focused or aimed a little bit better. But yeah, just wanted to give you a little review on this. So you want probably the best light as possible in front of your vehicle, so those kamikaze deers don't come running out and take you out. But again, please throw down any comments, what you think, what you like. Now, I don't run the LEDs or the different bulbs that you can put the H4 bulbs in, anything like that. I like using the sealed beams and keeping the car as original as possible. But like I said, it's the right side over there is shining the ditch okay, but the left side's not doing that great, and that's where those critters are going to come running out and cause some damage. But okay, keep going. Well, made in late last night. Had to take a few other different back ways instead of running alongside Mille Lacs Lake because the mayflies are just terrible. As you can see from the video, the front of the car was dirty. Beautiful day out today. Glad I came up for this because initially they were saying thunderstorms and rain all weekend, and well, can you guess they were wrong. So right now, I mean, probably closing in around 80 degrees, sunny, some beautiful clouds in the sky. So really should be a good day. So just driving down. Got a little bit later start today, but we'll make it there and spend a few hours and enjoy some nice cars and mingle with a few people, and should be a very fun day. Driving along behind a 74 Camaro. It's my brother ahead of me. It's a very nice car he's got, originally from Arizona. Still original paint, very original car. Motor's never been pulled or anything, and runs great. On the way back, we might find a closed course somewhere and run them. He's got the 354 barrel, I got the 352 barrel. See if we can can see the difference between them. Checked the oil this morning. Oil is right up there. Checked the tranny fluid. That was perfect. Transmission shift fine. It was a little sticky when I first got the car when it was going to reverse, but now no issues with running it more. And it's going to do a fluid change here in a little bit. But everything seemed to be okay. No issues last night. Like I said, no fuel leaking anymore. Brakes worked fine. Everything else, checked the rear diff before I took off, and that was full, and the gear lube in there looked fresh. So very happy. A little nervous last night when I took off, like I said before, and especially with it being later in the evening, but stopped a couple of times, checked everything out, no issues, no funny smells, nothing burning up. Car ran great, cruising along at 60 now today, and just purring along. So hopefully this continues. Go down to the show today, and then come back, and then hang out here for a few days, and then head back, which would be another 150 miles. So all in all, you know, it was probably, I was saying, 300-mile round trip. Probably going to be closer to 4-ish by the time I'm done. So far, so good. Well, the car show's a wrap. Very fun day. Got to meet a lot of people and talk to a lot of guys and gals about their cars, and they showed a lot of interest in the hobby, and like I said, it's really fun. Unfortunately, didn't win any prizes or trophies or anything like that, so that was a little bit of a bummer, but it's not what it's all about. It's about actually just coming together as a car it's about coming together as a car community and just showing interest in getting together and be able to discuss and talk about everything and about the cars and keep the hobby alive. But another unfortunate thing with talking with everybody and doing all the mingling and everything like that, did not get a lot of footage filmed of the actual show. So I apologize for that one. The social butterfly in me got the best of me today. But again, brother's car ran fine, mine ran fine. Just taking some back roads here for a little scenic route, and I'm gonna head back to the house and spend some family time together And then tomorrow we'll be hitting the road and doing the additional 150 miles, and again, hopefully everything continues as it did on the way here, and we'll have no issues. So that's gonna do it for today, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow on the rest of the trip. Well, there we have it, 350 miles round trip in the 73 Chevelle. Made the trip, no issues at all, other than I noticed now that I have it back in the garage, it is leaking brake fluid back there in that rear corner on the driver's side. Not sure what's going on with that. It's a little too hot right now to be messing with it. I think it's around low 90s right now. It's supposed to be cooler in the week, so I'm gonna get the car up in the air and get under there and see what's going on and where that's leaking from and get that fixed. Bring you guys in, show you what's going on with that. But right now, I'm gonna pop the hood, check a couple of things over real quick, and then we're gonna call it a night. But very happy with all the repairs I did. The brake line, that's something new. That's on the opposite side where I did the caliper. And again, that's something in the rear. So not sure what's going on. But everything else I did, the fuel lines, the brake caliper, the stuff that I did throughout the winter that I didn't record, but everything else went flawlessly. Very happy with it all. So thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you next time, and hopefully you liked the video. If you did, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button for upcoming videos on the car and plus other cars. And then just for a sneak peek, that one's coming up here.